Hey, what's going on, guys? And I'm Bart, so we're here now. So, I think we last left off with Naruto. He met Shisui when he was like 7 or no, when he was 4. And he basically got trained with Shisui and Itachi. Shisui died, gave Naruto one of his eyes. And Itachi, 1 month later, Itachi massacred the whole entire Uchiha clan. And Naruto wondered why, but he found out Danzo had he found out that from Shishui that Danzo had his eye, so he killed Danzo, got his eye, and trained for like the next 5 years. And he's 12, got into Team 7, did amazing on the graduation exam. Basically beat the heck out of Kakashi, with Kakashi awakening his Mangekyou Sharingan, and what's it called? Yeah. So after this, Team 7 has been doing D rank to D rank missions. Like, actually, they've been doing so many D rank missions, they basically have did more D rank missions than any of the Konoha 12 for the teams. And yeah, so Naruto, he gets tired of this and goes to the third Hokage. He's like, GG, we're gonna need some better missions. How we've been doing this, literally catching dogs, not even dogs, catching cats, finding cats, all this cat stuff. We want to do like a real mission. And the third Hokage is like, alright, now so here's this mission. See, since you've been doing a lot of D-rank missions, the mission that you get was you're gonna save that guy. And a drunken guy comes in, old looking guy, probably in his 50s or 60s, comes in and he's like, so this is the people that's gonna take me to the bridge. Look at this, pathetic. The only person that here that at least strong enough is that Jonin and that kid with the with the dark blonde hair. And Naruto, he takes the compliment, and but Sakura and Sasuke like they're not too happy. Um, so Kakashi says, "All right, team meets at the Konoha gates, and at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. depending on how late I am." And Kakashi disappears with Naruto disappearing too, and Sasuke and Sakura just walk home or whatever they do. When Naruto goes home, he simply just do some training, probably just throwing kicks in the air, training with his weights on, and yeah. So they meet at the Konoha gates at like 6 a.m. All of them, even Tazuna. There's Tazuna not being drunk. She's like, so it's already meeting, yeah? And Naruto's like, yeah, you're Tazuna. We're escorting you. Then they wait for like another 2 hours, and they at this point it's like 8 a.m. And Kakashi finally arrives, and Naruto's like, "Come on, Kakashi, we're literally like 1 hour late. Come on, we have to go." Kakashi's like, all right. So they gotta pick up the pace with Kakashi picking up Tazuna, something like that. But Tazuna's slow. They pick up the pace with Naruto saying, let's go, hurry up, we have to go. With Naruto being in front of the thing, not in front, yeah, he's in front of the whole entire scene while they're running. And then they stop because that it was rushing because it was so slow. So while they stop running, they keep walking, and then they see like a white rabbit. Naruto sees this, and he throws a kunai at it, and Sakura's like, Naruto, you're an idiot. It's just this rabbit. And Naruto's like, why is there a snow rabbit here? It's summertime, and it's sunny out, and why is there a puddle too? And as soon as Naruto says this, the demon brothers pop out, and they about to cut Naruto in half with Naruto seeing like he died, but it was actually a clone. When Naruto he hops in, and there's two clones of Naruto beyond both of the demon brothers with the kunai to their neck. He says, don't move it in, or else you're gonna die. And the demon brother's like, ugh, rather die than. And not one of the Naruto clone caught one of the demon brothers, and the other demon brother says, and the other demon brother's like, no, brother. And also he kicks the demon brother in with the kunai to his neck that's still alive, and the demon brother's like, you're gonna pay, and Naruto's like, you're gonna pay my genjutsu if you don't what's it called, tell me what's going on. Tell me why you here. Like, why are you after the bridge builder? And the demon brother's like, I will never. And then Naruto, he flares his Mangekyou Sharingan, and he puts him in the Genjutsu with his greatest fear. I don't know what's his greatest fear, but he puts him in his his, I said his favorite fear. Did I say favorite fear? I mean his worst nightmare, and he replays this for a minute, and he comes out and he said, I got the information, and he like throws the body in the air, and then he goes in the forest and he comes out with his hands and he just like claps them, just wipes it off, and he's like, oh, that's dealt with. And he walks, and Sasuke, while they walk, says, Naruto, how did you get that Sharingan? And Naruto says, it's obvious, I awakened them. But Sasuke says, you're not an Uchiha! How? And Naruto says, I am an Uchiha. I've been trained, that's why I've been training with Shishu and Itachi. I've been hiding my strength. If you wasn't such a dummy, you could have came with me and trained, but you wanted to seek your own power, your own strength. Even after I tried to reach out to you after the Uchiha clan died, you didn't ask for my help. You could have been stronger like me. Instead, you stayed by yourself. So is you right? They kept walking. Everything's silent, like it's been an hour of walking. Like not an hour, but it's been a long time. They're like halfway, close to the land of waves. But then, what's it called? Then they feel like some kind of sword coming, and like Kakashi's like duck, with everybody ducking, even Naruto, and Tazuna not having to not processing this. Naruto brings him down to the floor, slamming his face on the ground, and Tazuna's like, ow. But they see like a figure on top of the sword's hilt, and Naruto's like, is that? And Kakashi finishes by Zabuza Momochi, one of the 7 great swordsmen of the mist. A missing in Naruto, I'll handle this. Even I have the Mangekyou after all. And Kakashi places the Mangekyou Sharingan, and Naruto's like, alright. I want to join in too. So, like, Kakashi's like, no, I'm your team leader. I don't care if you're stronger than me. I'm your team leader, and you're gonna listen to what I say. You're gonna protect the Tazuna while I take care of this missing nin. Kakashi then just like turns a fireball jutsu not straight to it, a water style jutsu, like water bullet jutsu sends it towards not Kakashi, Zabuza. Zabuza then just cuts these water bullets in half, not touching him. And Zabuza rushes towards Kakashi, and Kakashi takes out a kunai, and they clash, with Zabuza winning the clash, and he kicks Kakashi, with Kakashi dodging, and he punches Zabuza in the face, and Zabuza's like, what is that eyes? The Mangekyou? Whatever. And he's about to stab Kakashi with Kakashi. He uses his Kamui, and it's his sword. Zabuza's sword got taken away, and Zabuza, the sword appears in Kakashi's hand, and Zabuza's like, what? You bastard! What are you? What is that eye? And Zabuza does a water, what's it called? He says water style, water dragon, and Kakashi copies this, and they both use water style, water dragon, with Kakashi winning the clash, but his eyes start bleeding, and he's like, come on, it hurts my eyes so much. better end this quickly. And he makes a chidori while Zabuza on the floor and he's about to stab Zabuza with needles, probably out, stabbing Zabuza in the neck. We then, sorry, my recording cut out. So Naruto, he met, wait, he met, but Naruto, what's it called? Naruto, he's just watching from this side, and Zabuza, was about to get stabbed with Kakashi's Chidori, and but the needles, like 5 needles, not even five, 2 needles come out, stab, and it goes into Zabuza's neck, and we then see Miss Abu say, thank you for your help. I'm gonna take Zabuza here. And Kakashi's like, are you a Miss Abu? Yes, this is my business. Now stay out of this. And the Abu disappears. Naruto's like, that's a little bit sus. I don't trust that Abu. And and Kakashi's like, yeah, me either. And Kakashi's about to fall when Naruto catches him. And Naruto's like carries Kakashi, and he's like, let's go. And they keep walking, and they make it to Kazu's house, and they're like, oh. And Kakashi wakes up and he says, Ugh, I feel a little bit better now. And he smells some food, and he's busting food, and he goes in and like, oh my god, that food smells amazing. And I think Tazumi or something like that, to Tazuma's granddaughter or daughter, she's like, yeah, I made the food. And Kakashi looks and he sees Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura standing there, and he's like, alright. And he sits down with Tazuna, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, useless, aka. So, they start eating, and then they see a little bit boy, and he says, my name is Inari, and look at you guys. You guys are weak. We'll never defeat Gato and his men, or Zabuza. And Kakashi's like, we already did. And Naruto's like, what makes you think that we won't defeat them? And Naruto's like, you're weak. And Naruto, he takes offense to this, and he's like, we're weak. If you stop talking and actually get stronger, we haven't even met this Gato guy, and I'm certain I can take him down. I don't know about you, but if you just talking all this stuff about how we're weak, why don't you train to get stronger? And Nari, he starts sitting up and he runs away saying, and Sakura's like, Naruto, I think you went too hard on them. And Naruto, he glares at Sakura and he's like, really? So what you would say? Oh, this is alright. You can take that man. No! He's still gonna act as brat as he is. He's still gonna act like a brat. At least I knocked some sense into that kid. And Naruto sits down and finishes food. So Kakashi says, hi, I'm fully restored. And he calls for Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura to train on the tree walking, which Naruto already knows. And Kakashi says, alright, you can go train by yourself, Naruto. Don't go too far. So Naruto runs, and Kakashi basically teaches Sasuke and Sakura the tree walking, with Sakura doing it first, and not Sasuke getting help from Sakura. So Naruto, when he's training, he practices some jutsu. He also practices like some taijutsu. He pulls some scrolls and he learns some lightning jutsu, like some I don't know, whatever. Like he just learned some more lightning jutsu, some more fire jutsu, and also some wind and water jutsu, which he finds out that he has natures from both of them. And yeah. So Naruto, what's it called? Naruto, he basically trains and he gets tired and he just sleeps. And then he meets Haku, and he's like, she's pretty, and like, she's like, yeah. And she basically says, I will protect anyone. Protecting people gives me strength. And Haku's like just holding her fist tightly. And Naruto, he takes this into consideration, and he says, protecting people gives you strength, huh? Well, Alright, and Kaku's like, also, I'm a boy. And Naruto, he's dumbfounded. He's like, I was crushing over a boy? And he's like, oh my fucking god, that's never happening again. And he's basically questioning his reality and who he is as a person. So, yeah. Now, so he then just goes back and he sees Kakashi and Zabuza duking it out again with Haku fighting Sasuke. Sasuke actually awakened his Sharingan at this point, and he's basically still losing to Haku with him basically dodging like some of Haku's moves, but overall he's getting hurt pretty bad. Naruto he sees Haku making some Izudome with Sakura watching Tazuna, and Naruto, he's like, I'm not having none of this, because at this point, Naruto has the Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, so no way he's gonna lose to no Haku, or I don't know. So he basically runs in and he says, Sakura, make sure that you protect Tazuna with your life if you have to. And he runs in and he tries to break inside the ice dome, but he can't. But he uses, uh, he just tries to break it with his fist, but it doesn't work. So he uses his sword and slices it up, and he enters in. And Sasuke's like, "You idiots! You're not gonna get anywhere if you enter in here. Now we're both suck." And Naruto's like, "Unlike you, I'm not weak." And he forms his Susanoo, and he starts crashing the ice dome. And Haku falls, and then he takes down like what's it called? He turns off his Susanoo and he kicks Haku in the face while he is falling. And Naruto he walks up and then he just slaps. And he's basically just beating around Haku. And while he's beating around Haku, Kakashi's basically about to stab a Chidori through Zabuza's head, head, yeah, and not Zabuza's head, Zabuza's heart. But then Haku, she basically gets this abundance of speed and she just rushes and she takes the Chidori for Zabuza and she falls to her knees not to die. And Naruto's like, no way, I beat her up to a pulp. How was she able to move fast enough? And she thinks, and he sees the broken max that she got, and he's like, huh. Wait, no. He sees that her mask is broken from afar, and she says, that was the boy. Because he's about to say the girl. Wait, that was the boy. And he's like, he remembers what Haku said about protecting others give you strength. So Naruto's like, it really does. And he sees Zabuza, and Zabuza's furious. And then Gato comes in and says, thank you for completing the job. Finally, I can get rid of those 2 pawns. Zabuza hears this, and he kind of gets a little pissed. And it basically goes in the original with Zabuza dying, and he takes down Gato and everyone. The bridge eventually gets named after Naruto because of how he played a key part in it. Maybe I should name it the Great. Sorry, my recording cut, but I think we should name it the Great Kakashi. Oh no! Since Kakashi played a great part in taking down Zabuza, the bridge is actually named the Great Hatake Bridge. Kakashi Hatake? Whatever Kakashi's last name is. But it's named after his last name since I believe that since Kakashi put in so much work to protect the bridge and he took down Zabuza with it should be named the Great Hatake Bridge. Also, I forgot to mention Naruto talking no Jutsu Zabuza. So, yeah. So after this, they head back to the village, and on their way, Kakashi says, "Soon it will be the tuning exams." And Naruto hears this, and he's like, "Oh, really? Huh? All right." So when everybody they're just resting, It's been a few days, and then when Naruto's out, he's with his team. They're about to go to a training ground to train, but he sees some Sanshinobi picking on Konohamaru, and Naruto, he's like, bro, that's Konohamaru. That's the third Hokage's grandson. He's like, step back, purple face, and Kaku's like, what did you just call me? And Naruto's like, purple face, leave the third Hokage's grandson alone. You don't want to be dealing with the third Hokage. Oh, you don't want to start a war with the Lee village. You already know what's gonna be the outcome. Your village is gonna get destroyed. And Naruto, he says this with a bit of how, like, it's like he's telling the truth. Like, you can't say that he's lying or he's being bluffing. He's telling the truth. The village, the Sand Village will be destroyed if Gankuro keeps playing with this kid. And Gankuro, he backs off with Kyo's like, and Sasuke's like, whatever. And like he's sitting on the tree, he's like, let's go train Naruto. And Naruto's like, alright. So Naruto, he basically takes Sasuke to train. And Naruto's basically teaching Sasuke like about the Sharingan and how to make it stronger. And at this point, I would say that Sasuke at this point, okay, we have the Tsutomoe. Yeah, the Tsutomoe. And Naruto keeps training Sasuke, and at this point, Sasuke learned the Chidori. Yep, the Chidori. Sasuke learned the Chidori. And Naruto, he keeps training Sasuke. He actually put down some weights for Sasuke to get stronger. And Sakura sees this, like he sees so Naruto train Sasuke, and Sakura's like, "Can I train with you, Naruto?" And Naruto's like, "Why should I? I'm only here to simp over Sasuke. Get the hell out of here. This place is no need for no simps. Actually, it would be cool if you be a pimp, stupid bitch." And what's it called? Sakura's like, she walks off, and Sasuke's like, he's doing some push-ups, and he's like, don't you think he was being too hard on her? And Naruto's like, not really. She deserves it. I'm serious. We have no place for simps, especially if the person that you're simping for is right in front of you. And Sasuke's like, yeah, that's true. And yeah. So basically, it's the day of the training exams, and to be honest, I just want to skip some parts because, like, basically on the test, Naruto does good. He uses his like Sharingan to cheat, to copy people's hand movements, and Sasuke does the same thing with Sakura being just brain smart, so she knows what to do. And yeah, the team passes, and when Ibiki says this is gonna be hard, and everybody leaves, but the team doesn't because they have that will. And yeah, so what's it called? We're gonna skip to the Forest of Death because I really don't care about anything else other than the Forest of Death and stuff. So Naruto's actually teleporting, body flicking, getting all the scrolls, with Sasuke actually learning the body flicking, and yeah. So Sasuke is actually kind of stronger than in the original, in the Forest of Death. He could probably beat Sasuke during the Forest of Death. Like, can Sasuke um in the Forest of Death? He could beat Sasuke. Part one, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Even with stage one of the curse mark. Stage two probably be like a little problem. Stage whatever. Yeah. So they basically get the two scrolls, and on the way to the tower, they see a snake, and it's about to go through Naruto. It's Naruto actually holding his sword out. He cuts straight through the top, like the top half of the snake, cutting it while it was about to rush towards Naruto. He basically sidesteps, and while the snake is rushing towards Naruto, is basically rushing the right path of Naruto. Naruto sidesteps and cuts straight through it, slicing it in like half. And then they see some snake woman, like not some, like a woman with snake arms, about to hit Naruto. With Naruto, he cuts off the snake, but the hand comes back and it's a hand, and Naruto basically gets into the taijutsu with this woman, and she's like, "How many is Sasuke?" And Naruto's like, "What for?" And Snake is like, for personal reasons, and she kicks Naruto back, and Naruto's like, "Those snakes, that girl, tongue, is that Orochimaru?" Orochimaru's like, and so you figured it out, and Naruto's like, and what's it called? Orochimaru basically reveals himself, and Naruto gets into what Taijutsu battle with Naruto winning using his Susanoo, and he's like, "What?" Orochimaru's like, "He's a uchiha," and Naruto's basically destroying Orochimaru with Naruto basically cutting Orochimaru, cutting him, hitting him, using his time stop, and basically just destroying Orochimaru. While Naruto's distracted, Naruto's basically pushing Orochimaru away from the Team 7, which Orochimaru makes a clone, and he plans to curse mark on Sasuke, with Sasuke passing out. Naruto, he hears the scream, he's like, "Damn it!" And he says, "I have to end this quickly." And he does a Susanoo, like, not a ribcage, but it was like it has a little bit of armor, but it's not full Susanoo. But he basically cuts Orochimaru, killing him seemingly. And he goes to the team, and he's like, and he's like, "Sasuke, are you okay?" And Sasuke was like, "I don't know, but Orochimaru came and he bit Sasuke," and he's like, Orochimaru's trying to get Sasuke's body. So after this, they head to the tower with the teams have been passing. After this, what's it called? Naruto um seals Sasuke's curse mark, which basically stops the curse mark. Kakashi's like, "What happened?" And Naruto explains what happened, and he's like, "Alright, so we're gonna do the 1v1s, and it basically goes in the original same matchings, but before that, Lee challenges Naruto because Naruto earned the Rookie of the Year. So Lee challenges Naruto, and Naruto he Lee starts going out on him, and he actually takes off his weights, and he's about to kick Naruto, but Naruto, he dodges and he takes off his own weights, and they start getting into a to bad, like, blinding speed. But Naruto is actually beating the fuck out of Rock Lee, and Rock Lee's like, "What the heck? He's faster than me, even with my first gate. I mean, with my fifth gate." And I was just like, "Yep, boom, boom, boom." And he's like, "I mean, I have gravity seals and weights. I'm an Uzumaki after all. And if I didn't mention this, Naruto has the Uzumaki chains. I don't know why he didn't even have them in the original. Maybe because he didn't have the full Uzumaki, but in the manga, never mind, never mind. I was about to get to some manga spoilers, but basically something happened with Tsukuruma, and that makes me believe that Naruto will kind of get the chains, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Naruto, he basically uses his chains and he starts beating the heck out of which everyone is shocked at that he has the Uzumaki chains. Even the third Hokage when he arrives, and Guy Lee says, "I'm just like, Guy Lee, really?" And I'm like, and I was like, "Oh, stop!" And he stops the match with Naruto. He's like, sorry, and Naruto, he basically heals Rock Lee, and he basically like heals him while the fight's going on. And after like 10 minutes, Lee is fully healed up, and Naruto, he's starting to feel woozy since he's not a medical ninja. He's a ninja, so he's like he feels a little bit woozy. But after this, Kiba is Naruto versus Kiba. He was like, "Gonna be easy taking you down. It must have been the fruit that you passed." Naruto, he has the same drip, and what's it called? And the thumbnail, he has the same drip. But Naruto, he's like, whatever. and he kicks Kiba in the face. And Kiba's like, what the heck? With Naruto still being woozy from hearing Rock Lee, he's like starting to beat the heck out of Kiba. He starts slapping him in the face, kicking him in the chin. Like he's basically just whopping the mop with him. Like basically the floor is Kiba and Naruto is basically the mop and starts mopping the heck out of Kiba. And Kiba's like, oh my god, he's getting fucked up. And Kiba's basically knocked out. And when he knocks over his energy, Naruto's about to get struck and basically gonna die, basically. And Naruto, he basically body flickers and he slaps the heck out of Neji, like just slapping him with using his Sharingan too, but nobody saw it. And then he kicks Kiba in the face and knocking Kiba out. And yeah, so Naruto, he's basically after this is like a 1 month break, and like Naruto is saying, oh, I guess this is the end of this part. Yep, that's where we're gonna be leaving him off. Bye.